California. Here we go, Roger.
From LA and OC for LA and OC. Radio Salvation.
We're on a mission from God.
One day at a time.
This is the Petros and Money Show.
Solo voy con mi pena, sola va mi condena. Correré mi destino.
I missed that whole thing. I mean, I know Bolton thinks a lot of himself.
Hey, I know Bolton personally.
I know Bolton.
Live from Burbank, California. Here we go, Roger.
From LA and OC for LA and OC. Radio Salvation.
We're on a mission from God.
One day at a time.
This is the Petros and Money Show.
Solo voy con mi pena, sola va mi condena. Correré mi destino.
I missed that whole thing. I mean, I know Bolton thinks a lot of himself.
Hey, I know Bolton personally.
I know Bolton, he's a close personal friend.
Well, we did talk about Joe Torre.
He did come in for 2 segments here, and that constitutes close personal friends to
right.
all of us.
Yes.
That's right.
And I got to say, he struck me not as a bad guest, not as a bad guy, but as a man who thinks an awful lot of himself.
Michael Bolton likes him some Michael Bolton.
You know, people sometimes say that about our friend Pat O'Brien. But I would say Bolton even likes himself more than Pat O'Brien likes himself.
Ooh.
Hey, both guys like to wear tight jeans. That's all I know. Point is, we're talking about Bolton on Dancing with the Stars. Hold on, let's just start the show real quick.
Yep.
Ahem. Beauty is everywhere. A welcome guest.
And with that, we welcome you to the Fake Hour on AM 570 KLAC, Fox Sports LA, the Petros and Money Show on this Crunchy Groove Thursday.
Hey, man, you ever just going through your stuff and you find a bag of weed from like way back in the day and it's really dry?
You say, man, that sucks.
And then you pack it in your bowl and you just give it a real slight spark and just sucks right down the tube, brother, but you still get wicked high. Yeah! It's a Crunchy Groove Thursday here. Okay, all right. Yes, all right. We'll get to all the accoutrements to start the show. It's a Fake Hour, the Petros Money Show on AM 570 KLAC Fox Sports LA. We got a good show, and everybody seems to be in a relatively good mood, and Crunchy Groove Nate is here, and whenever Crunchy Groove Nate comes,
everybody gets high.
Everybody gets high on life. Everybody gets
That's
high
right.
on the fact
We get high on a new thing.
that he's here. We're high on a feeling. We're hooked on believing that Crunchy Groove Nate's going to come here. We're going to have a great show.
Damn straight.
That's how we feel about it. So it's great to have him here.
Lights up the room.
Sure does. With his
Anybody need Del Taco?
with his incredulous smile,
And that blowtorch lighter he got from the counter at the 7-Eleven store.
his glassy eyes. His glassy eyes.
He's really taking everything Patty Stenger told him to heart, I could tell.
Yeah, he's
He did
shaving.
shave.
I don't like the soul patch, but and white shorts is, I don't know, man. That's
It's not Wednesday, by the way.
Yeah.
Are those white?
I felt bad until I saw P's green pants, actually.
Oh, my seersuckers? Oh, you like my seersuckers.
Nice.
Oh, no, my seersuckers. I'm going to take a picture and twit pick them. You know what? We're going to go side to side and twit pick a picture, and we're going to have the people decide who looks cooler because you're wearing white shorts.
You got the golf store white belt on
yeah,
too?
exactly. If I took a hose to your pants right now, it'd be like a wet T-shirt contest with your poots
Now
on.
listen, some guys are trying to concentrate on the show here today. P.
You know what makes your pants cool, Petros? The fact that they're corduroy.
No,
Oh, those
they're
are seersucker. Or seersucker.
They look like corduroy.
I don't know, Matt. Here, I
No,
don't
those
know.
are seersucker.
Feel 'em, I
Cord,
don't know.
the same kind of texture as a cord,
Yeah.
but a seersucker
Oh, no, they
is.
breathe. Yeah, yeah.
It's not only the pinstriping; it's actually the texture
Yeah.
that makes it a
And
seersucker
I
suit.
should know about seersucker suits because I was married in one.
Do they still make that funny sound when you walk?
No, they're seersuckers. And take it from me, Petros Papadakis, seersucker suits. They work. Okay.
Today, I come to this courtroom representing a young man
Yeah.
in the hopes he gets a fair trial.
If you're a Southern lawyer with a giant glass of bourbon
That's
and a
right.
mint julep waiting at home after the trial, you might be comfortable in a seersucker suit. All right. We're all over the place here. David, your mom called. Now, we love Michael Bolton here on PMS because he came in and did 2 segments, talked some baseball, talked some Joe Torre,
Yeah, he's really up Joe Torre's butt.
talked about his competitive softball league
Yeah.
that he's really into. He's like the greatest singing softball player of all time. Talked about the instrument that is his throat, that billion esophagus that belongs to Michael Bolton.
Yes, I did write a song with Lady Gaga. I recognized her talent nearly immediately.
I saw her. I saw her as a fabulous artist. and she is. She is a fabulous artist. And so is Michael Bolton. But he went on Dancing with the Stars, and I'm not a big Dancing with the Stars guy. I watched my first episode 2 nights ago, and I don't know. I've just been talking about it for the last couple days, not because I like the show, but just because a lot has gone on. I mean, maybe the show's jumped the shark like we did yesterday with our film fight. Point is, a lot of people talking about Bolton and that he just thought he was too good for it. Why would Bolton be too good for Dancing with the Stars, but not too good to come and do Petros and Money?
Well, we're a lot better than Dancing with the Stars. I'll tell you that.
Maybe that's what it is.
He's a sports fan. That's why. And
Yeah.
I think those dudes, it's what those music guys always do. They call and they're like, yeah, my guy wants to come on and talk about sports. Like we had Buck Cherry on, and when they were walking out of the studio, we thought they were kidding, but they were dead serious. Josh was like, hey, man, I thought we were going to talk about the Cowboys. I mean, can't we talk about the Cowboys? They just get tired of talking about music and want to get something different going in their interviews. But
he
for
couldn't
Bolton,
take the criticism.
Well, the problem with Bolton is you know what you're getting into.
Yeah.
And if you don't, then shame on your manager for not telling you that there's going to be a guy sitting in the middle of that freaking table that's going to rip you apart if you don't know how to do the cha-cha.
And I guess Bruno really wore him out on that show. And
and you said your mom is mad?
Yeah, she was upset. I just called, I check in with my mom every night after the show just
Mom,
to say
it's me,
hi.
Dave. Is my laundry done? Did you cook me some meatballs that I can bring to work in Tupperware? And
I'm coming over on Sunday, Mom, so have that lunch ready.
Could you make the shells with the manicotti cheese? And maybe you can make some muscatoli.
I don't tell her what to make.
Maybe you can make me some muscatoli. And
I don't
can heat
even
it up
want
in the
all that
microwave
food.
And I can eat what I
I'm
want.
one person, and she makes a dinner for like 10.
Yeah.
I'm like one
If
guy.
you ask her, Mom, I like the gnocchi with the arrabbiata sauce. Can you make some more of that, please?
Remember when we told Dave that his ass was flab, and he said, "My mom says I have a cute butt."
I do remember that.
Anyway, before I could get to any of that, even my ass, I couldn't even get commentary on my ass from my mom.
Mom, how does my ass look today? Oh, bellissima, Dave. Oh,
Yeah. Well, do this. How about impersonate my mom saying, that Michael Bolton, he's so, why is he even on that show if he's not even going to take...
Did you
His mom
defend
turn
Michael
into
Bolton?
Edith from All in the Family?
I'm telling you. She's all...
I can see that.
That Michael Bolton, he didn't even stick around to do the last dance. He just walked out after. And Bruno wasn't going to apologize to him. He wanted an apology.
Did Bolton ask for?
Yeah.
I'd like you to apologize.
Yeah. And he's not going to give He's not going to give Michael Bolton an apology. Oh, but Rick Fox. Oh, David. Oh, Rick Fox looks so good.
Rick Fox. Can we get Rick Fox on to talk?
Yeah.
To start
I mean, he's
calling
always
sorry ass?
practicing. He tweeted today he's going to the Grove to be interviewed by Mario Lopez.
Oh God. Well, Mario's all right. Look,
Swole.
he's a nice guy. He's all right. He's about 4 feet tall, but he's a nice guy.
Looks like a gymnast.
And he doesn't like to be called Slater.
No, he's past that.
Who could have guessed that?
Yeah, he's past that. In
What
his
about
life.
AC?
AC? I don't think he's going
He'll
to
go for that. He'll go for AC.
You know, when you grow up like AC Slater did, you're a military brat. You move around a lot. You don't have any friends. You know, you don't really find that. You don't really find that group of friends until,
Wrestlers are weird.
until
Wrestlers
late into
are
high
weird.
school. Wrestlers are weird, and you don't really find that group of friends till late into high school. You know, sometimes you have a chip on your shoulder like
Yeah.
AC. So I understand what Mario Lopez is going
He
through.
should grow the mullet back.
All right, maybe he could. Maybe he should do a lot of things. But the other guy I really like on that show is Kurt Warner. I mean, I think Kurt Warner is a champ on that show. I just watched one episode, but you know who would be great on that show? POB.
Hi, I'm Pat O'Brien, and I'm about to do the jitterbug.
Yeah, wouldn't he be unreal on that show?
Hey,
Yeah.
Bruno, shut up.
Hey,
I
shut
did
up.
better than anybody.
I have a beautiful dancing style. You know, he was dancing in my face yesterday and shaking his hips. And,
He hugged me
yeah, he
very close and
he's
tightly.
Fred Astaire taught me that
a
step.
different kind of dude.
Bruno, you don't like it? Well, because Fred Astaire taught it to me. So apparently you don't like Fred Astaire. I'm Pat O'Brien, and I'm leaving the stage.
All right, it is not just a Crunchy Groove Thursday here with Crunchy Groove Nate in the house.
No, it's also Inglewood Thursday.
Inglewood. Inglewood.
It's also Three Things Thursday.
Tres cosas para la raza in the city of the Ciudad and beyond, but we're in the fake hour here, which is local on AM 570 KLIC, Fox Sports LA.
And, of course, with all these dudes sitting across from us in white shorts and backwards baseball caps.
Come here,
that's
Nate.
Mine is as well. It is Tap That Thursday.
Tap that.
Oh, tap that. Oh, on Thursday. Anybody feel like some wiener schnitzel? It's me, Crunchy Groove Nate, and I'm going to sing it with my raspy voice.
We ate fresh today with Subway. Tap that, oh, tap that, oh, on Thursday.
BS, Nate. You ate bold today with Subway.
Oh, yeah? You eat fresh? Eat ate fresh. Did you have a bold ranch bacon chicken sandwich?
No, just a meatball marinara.
You know,
that's all.
I'm going to tell the truth about something right now.
Meatball what?
Whatever. Look, we got to get into what we're doing. He had a meatball sandwich at Subway. He ate fresh. Okay. John Gold is going to join us in this hour. InsideSoCal.com/UCLA. We booked him after Chris Dufresne said no and Mark Gubazov said no. And after we taped an interview with Mike Patterson.
That went famously.
Our friend Mike Patterson from the Eagles just wasn't ready to be interviewed today. And it wasn't that he was mean or aloof.
He had the giggles.
Oh, just Crunchy Group Thursday.
Here, you ask, well, that's an implication that doesn't need to be made. I mean, obviously the guy.
I just mean a Crunchy Group state of mind.
Maybe that's what it was.
You know, that's all.
Maybe he was on State Street feeling good. But the point is this. I want you, Matt, to ask me a question, very serious football question about Eagles versus Redskins, McNabb coming back, and I'll be Mike Patterson from the taped interview that we're not going to play because we just look, when you have a guy on live and he's not that great,
you cut your losses and get the hell out.
Nothing else we can do.
Yeah.
We do it and then we move on.
You email us and tell us how much we suck.
But when it's on tape, you don't have to play it.
That's right.
And Ronnie, could you just turn the music down just a little bit so we can give people the full effect here?
Here we go. Ready?
Just a little bit. Thank
we
you,
go.
Ronnie. And I'm going to be Mike Patterson, and Matt Money Smith's going to be Matt Money Smith in the interview that we taped earlier today that you're never going to hear.
Mike, it is year 2 under Sean McDermott since the passing of your former defensive coordinator, Jim Johnson. Has much changed with the defense? And are you still filling the same role that you did under Coach Johnson?
Hey, no, not much change.
Mike, with Donovan McNabb coming to town, it is a division rival. Added incentive here, or does it feel the same as the game you played against the Jaguars?
I feel pretty good.
That's about right.
Yeah, that was it.
We may have to clip 30 seconds of the interview just so you can hear it for yourselves. Just a little 30-second bite so you can.
Why not?
Why not, right?
John Gold this hour in the fake hour to talk UCLA. Gary Patterson, TCU head coach of the Horned Frogs, is coming on. Jason Lockenfora, our friend from the NFL Network with all that good NFL information. He's no Mike Patterson. And Lance Romance. To it, Mono Damn More. All of it is headed your way on the Peterson Money Show on a Crunchy Groove Thursday, AM 570 KLAC, Fox Sports LA. You know, Pat's in good shape. He can handle it.
I'm Pat O'Brien, and I'm going to do the tango.
Great on dance moves.
Back to Petros and Money here on AM 570 KLAC, Fox Sports LA. John Gold will join us in our next segment. Get you ready for that UCLA Washington State contest this weekend. We are reminding you that iHeartRadio allows you to listen to the show anywhere you go. Don't need to be by a radio. You can listen to it right there on your smartphone. Download that iHeartRadio app and take our show anywhere you go.
This is not real. It's the fake hour. What's up?
Fox Sports Radio.
Downheart sounds like the name of like a really bad kind of action romance movie. Downheart.
I was thinking it was like a bad knight, like a rogue knight that left his crew and just went to fight on his own. Downhard.
Oh, Down Hard?
Yeah, Down Hard.
I thought you said Down Heart.
Oh, no.
Because you were talking about iHeartRadio.
Oh, Down Hard, yeah.
So I thought you said Down Hard. I don't know. Hey, man.
Like a Ewan McGregor kind of film?
Didn't come out of my mouth. You know, I don't know. All right. Time for a little housekeeping.
Oh, Mr. Superman, we know here.
On an issue that first arose back in August. So, housekeeping.
Oh, Mr. Superman, we know here.
No. Housekeeping.
Oh, Mr. Superman, we know here.
In mid-August, when it became apparent the Doyers were circling the drain for good, a memorable moment developed on the show in the local fake hour. Do you remember? Vassay was in here talking baseball with us. The topic turned to how the Doyers would fill the stadium in September when the club was playing meaningless games. Not that anybody believes the McCourt-generated attendance figures anyway. But the empty seats are clearly visible when you watch the games on television. That afternoon, I suggested an online game where people could vote to guess Jonathan Broxton's weight. Remember
yes,
that?
I do remember that.
And you thought Adam Dunn was heavier than Brock. Sabathia, pretty heavy guy, too.
Yep.
But Brox is well over 300 pounds, although the club lists him at 295, just to be nice. That afternoon, I figured the Doyers could give 2011 season tickets to the person who came closest to guessing Broxton's weight to the exact ounce or gram, and the payoff would come on the closing weekend when the team would haul out a grain elevator and weigh Broxton in his uniform in front of the fans. Best idea I've ever had. Well, we've reached the final 3 home games of the season. 5th place D-backs coming in to play the 4th place Doyers. Who's going to go to those games? This would have worked out perfectly. So, Vassay, whatever became of this promotion? Did you pitch it to Doyer PR expert Josh Rowich or to our friend Ned Coletti? I thought weighing the dead weight that Broxton became in 2010 sounded like a great promotion to get the entire fan base behind the team.
No, they had a lot of other dead weight on the team that they had to weigh before that.
Did you not pitch it to anybody?
It got lost somewhere between Ned Coletti and Frank McCourt's
your nose
assistant.
And Don Newcomb's rear end.
Here
it
is.
Could have, yeah.
And your engagement of Nancy B.
I took the liberty of writing out a script, and I'll play both parts.
Okay.
Of Dave talking to Ned Coletti and trying to make this happen. I can just hear Vassay asking Coletti about doing this. Close your eyes and feel this, even if you're in the car. Start with Dave.
Hey, Ned. Petros wants to weigh Broxton on a grain elevator in front of the fans. What do you think?
Listen, you moron. I do that show as a favor, and I don't want to hear any more of that freaking Greek stupid ideas. You got that?
But, Ned, it will help attendance on the final homestand.
The next time you try and embarrass me and let that freaking Greek do an impression of my voice on the radio, I'm going to have some of my family friends from the old neighborhood on Taylor Street in Chicago pay all 3 of you a-holes a visit.
Pretty close, pretty close.
Is that what happened?
Oh, yeah.
We need a grain elevator. Moving on. Come on, man.
This is not real. It's the fake hour. Split up.
I want to weigh that big-ass left tackle, Jonathan Broxton.
It's funny you mention it, Pete, because as you said, it is the final weekend of baseball here in Southern California. And as a young boy, it was a big deal for me. I started playing baseball at 5 years old. My older brother, who's 4 years older, 5 years old, little league.
Diapers out there? Yeah.
T-ball, actually. Back in the day, finished second that year. We had orange uniforms, but we were still the Yankees for some reason. Won the next 3 years as a Giant, but we were black and white. Again, it was kind of strange the way the colors worked out, but it was a big deal.
Can you write that in your novel?
I might be able to. It was a big deal the last weekend, the last homestand for the Chicago Cubs, for us to try to convince our father or mother or friends or uncles to take us to a game, because even though there were 81 home games all season long, you knew you weren't getting any for the next 6 months. And it was just too long of a layoff for a young boy to comprehend, and it still sticks with me today. Now, I will not be able to make it out to the park this weekend. I'll be in Texas tomorrow, but I did discover the Angels, in fact, are playing the Rangers, and I may try to get out to the old ballpark in Arlington tomorrow night when I'm in Texas to catch a little bit of baseball before it disappears for 6 months.
Well, there'll be plenty of playoff baseball on for us to watch. And
sadly, not here in town, though.
Well, it's on TV.
And this is the thing, and the question remains, and you said it, Pete, with no meaningful games to be played, will you give Frank McCourt any more money to help out his bottom line with the Dodgers' only positive goal to come out of 3 games with the Arizona Diamondbacks being the opportunity to finish the season without a losing record? They sweep Arizona, and they will call it a year at 81-81. And, hey, there's something to get the kids excited. I know the Kulaku is gone. I know Vassay says it takes far too long to get a grilled Dodger dog thanks to limited outlets selling the damn things. But you still have the ballpark. You still have Nancy B. You still have those 16 or 20-ounce beers.
Hey, it's still a great experience.
Yeah, you still got that number 2 pencil and a scorecard for a couple bucks to keep you going.
And you get a grain elevator out there and weigh Jonathan Broxton, and how do you lose? I mean, that's a great way. I would go. I have Saturday off. I would go to that.
This really is the most depressing feeling any kid who loves him, the Dodgers, can experience. Wanting to get that last game or 2 in, and Dad saying, no chance. Thanks to those bastard McCourts ruining the experience for anyone in town. The Angels weren't competitive for any period longer than the Dodgers. As a matter of fact, I think they faded probably earlier out of contention than the Dodgers did. They drew more fans. Not gross and not average, but that's just a product of the size of the venue. But the Angels, who were the stepchild baseball franchise in this town before 2002, but thanks to Mike Scioscia and a consistent ownership that's doing things the right way, they filled 89% of their seats every game compared to 78% for the Dodgers. And while McCourt's going to stick his chest out and say, era, 3.4 million, era, they got 55,000 seats in that joint.
I don't want to hear your ridiculous attendance figures. Got that? Got that?
Outside, Ned, the top 10 in percentage of capacity. 10 teams ahead of them that filled their ballpark more than the Dodgers did, who were screaming about 4 million fans a couple years back.
I'm just a baseball man. All these percentages and figures and things like they don't mean anything to me.
You know what it tells me? It tells me that the fine people of Los Angeles are letting Mr. McCourt know with their pocketbooks that they're not happy with what he's got going.
Yeah.
Good for them.
The negativity of the McCourt divorce permeates everything with the Dodgers. And, you know, when we first started having guys on earlier in the season, we'd ask them about the divorce, especially national guys, and they would say, oh, you know, it doesn't affect the players, this and that. It affects the mood of the entire franchise.
Most definitely.
Nobody is happy with the Dodgers, and that's supposed to be the happiest place in Los Angeles, and they've wrecked it because they
affects
suck ass.
The mood of the whole city.
They suck.
And I'll tell you, I know when that little guy or daddy's girl looks up and says they want to hit up the game, you hate to say no. So how about trying to get things to work out so you and the kids can benefit and take in a little baseball on the final weekend of the season without helping the McCourts too much? You know, they can buy their tickets from Barry. Those are already sold.
Barry!
They can buy their tickets off StubHub or Craigslist because they're already sold. No more money will go into the Dodgers' pockets if you get your tickets there instead of at the box office. Maybe you got to pay the $15 parking, but hey, there's that AM PM there right before you get to Stadium Way. Load up on a couple hot dogs, put them in your pocket.
So wait a minute.
Get some sodas, put them in your pocket, and hit up the game without giving them any additional cash.
You're encouraging people to buy stuff from Barry so the Dodgers don't make any money.
That's right. On the tickets.
Barry'sTickets.com, 877-YO-BARRY.
Or even a scalper.
Some other place.
Yeah, somewhere, but anywhere but the box office.
And then load up at the 7-Eleven,
right?
You know, with Slurpees and stuff and put them in your pants and
That's
go
right.
in there and just don't give the McCourts crap.
Exactly. You get to take in the baseball park. You get, you know, the beauty of a ballpark on a weekend, the last weekend of the baseball season with the kids. You have those memories, but you don't have to give them a single cent. Hell, they sell the Dodger dogs at the Ralphs if you want. Just, you know, boil them up in a nice pot at home, steam those buns, and throw them into a thermos. Stick it in your pants, walk through that gate, and don't give them a freaking lick of cash. Buy your Dodgers shirt in the parking lot outside from some dude that has the bootleg variety instead of the actual licensed gear from inside, and you have the experience without compromising your integrity and giving a single cent to that dude.
Is it my fault that I work for a crooked businessman? Is it?
It's not your fault, Ned. Hey, Ned.
Don't start that with me.
Hey, Ned, it's not your fault.
Not you, man.
It's not your fault,
Don't
Ned.
you start that with me.
Ned, it's not your fault.
You know whose fault it is? Mike Patterson. God. We couldn't run the interview. John Gold. Pinch hitting. Bring in the righty. The Petros and Money Show, AM 570 KLAC. Bring in the righty. Fox Sports LA.
Can I put in something like, this is American music, take one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do you like American music? I like American music. Don't you like American?
Come on, let's have a good time today, huh?
Baby.
This one's for Wisconsin, man. Brett Bielema's coming on tomorrow. I want you to hold me. I want your arms around me. I want.
Welcome back to Petros and Money here in the Fake Hour on AM 570 KLAC Fox Sports LA. Next hour, we will be joined by Gary Patterson, the head coach of the Texas Christian Horned Frogs. Horned Frogs.
Too many drugs. baby. Oh, it's time for Rolled Gold. The last time this dude came on the show,
ugly moan.
Stanford had just beat the Bruins 35-0, and we talked about the doom and gloom in store for UCLA football. But what a difference 2 weeks make. The Brew Hands have knocked off 23rd-ranked Houston and 7th-ranked Tejas back-to-back weeks, and they appear to have rescued the 2010 season. Of course, you lose to Washington State, it's all over. With the Washington State Cougars coming to Pasadena this Saturday, we welcome the great John Gold of the Daily News back to the Petros and Money Show on AM 570 KLAC Fox Sports LA. It's InsideSoCal.com/UCLA. What's cracking, Goldie?
Guys, it is an honor to be here on Crunchy Groove Thursday. An honor.
There you go. Now, remember when you have Mike Patterson to thank. He just laughed at every question we asked him. Now remember,
and Gubaza.
and Gubaza and Chris Dufresne. We had you on during camp, and we asked you if you wanted to suit up on the O-line. But this patchwork O-line of all seniors all of a sudden has turned into a very productive unit. I mean, I thought this kid, Ryan Taylor, first I thought his name was Randy, the center, he won the Pac-10 Offensive Player of the Week. I mean, an O-lineman never gets this type of attention.
Yeah, it's something that I've been trying to hype up since the beginning, just the idea that you can almost plug anyone in a zone read blocking system and have that kind of success. I don't think the first unit down to the second unit at UCLA was not a huge jump down, and you're just seeing that the scheme works. And at the same time, you're absolutely right. They're playing lights out, and they physically dominated Texas on Saturday.
John P. had said it midweek. His father came on and really made the declaration on Friday. He said, I think they're going to win this game. Was that the sentiment amongst the national media, the media that hung out and covered the Bruins, that they not only had a legit shot to hang with Texas, but win that game going into it?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. There was the idea that Rick Neuheisel kept saying, which was we're going to try and hang on for 3 quarters and then kind of try and make our move in the fourth. That is absolutely not what happened. I thought they had a shot at an outside chance of kind of one of those fluky victories that kind of goes down to the wire. And anyone who follows football knows those kind of games can kind of just bounce on a whim. This was not that. The way that UCLA took Texas totally out of their game, absolutely controlled the clock, did everything that you would expect them not to do, and that they've never shown the ability to do. And they did it in Austin in a ridiculously hot environment. I could not believe it. No one predicted that.
InsideSoCal.com/UCLA. John Gold from the Daily News with us. So with Washington State on the schedule, Kevin Prince nursing some injuries, are we going to see a heavy dose of old Dickie Briho this weekend?
I'm still not sure. Rick Neuheisel plays the what do you want to call it? The quiet game better than almost anybody except for Bill Belichick. I have no idea. I could be suiting up at quarterback this week, not offensive line. I really have no idea what they're going to do. Richard Briho looks good in the throwing game. He still has some issues running the offense, and that's what Kevin Prince does so well. He's quicker than Briho, and he seems to know how to understand, how to read a defense a little bit better than Briho does at this point. And yet, I don't think against Washington State it's too much of a concern. Petros at quarterback, Matt Money, anybody could beat these guys. I don't think they're that worried.
I'd like to see Matt taking that shotgun.
They'd snap me in half.
Prince gets beat up. I'm not saying he's not a tough kid. He got his jaw ripped off last year at Tennessee, shoulder, all kinds of problems. This year, this is the second injury he's dealing with. Are you going to make it?
Really, it's the third. At the beginning it was the oblique strain, and then he had the sore shoulder that he hurt against USC last year and banged up again. And here again, with this injury, with the knee injury, I don't know. I don't know if he's going to make it, and they have to be legitimately concerned. Going 8 more games the rest of the season, and they hope a bowl game. I don't know if this kid's going to last. He puts himself. I don't want to say he puts himself in harm's way, but he has that kind of rugged mentality that I'm just going to go for the first down. Well, that's not always the best idea, and he takes a lot of abuse. I think you got to give it to the kid. He was on the sideline against Texas. He had just hurt his knee. He was being looked at on the training table.
Jumped off the table.
Jumped off the table. You gotta
like
love
Spider-Man.
That.
Yeah,
you gotta love that, but who knows? Who knows if he's gonna make it?
I was on a training table once in high school, and my dad swung out of the stands like Spider-Man and kicked me in the back of the neck out back onto the football field. I never touched a damn thing again. All right.
Your dad was hilarious at UCLA the other day talking about Vassay. Hilarious.
Was he like the only guy out there? Him and Sam Cunningham?
I'll tell you, one of the funniest things I've ever seen. Tell Vess, hey, if you see him, I'm gonna kick his. Can't go past that, but it made my day.
All right. Well, my dad loves the linebackers, and you got Sean Westgate, who's under the radar, this little stubby little dude, excelling in the Pac-10. He is the Pac-10 Defensive Player of the Week. Paint a picture. You got Patrick Larimore, and he's having a breakout season. He's emerged from the shadow of Akeem Ayers. Ayers is freelancing, running around out there. Are we looking at the best linebacking core in the Pac-10? Are these guys better than Arizona State?
Akeem Ayers has to at least count for two guys. He's doing stuff at the line of scrimmage that I've never seen a college linebacker do. He's taking guys who weigh 310 pounds and standing them up and physically pushing them back 6 yards, almost into the quarterback. He has uncanny strength for a linebacker, and what they're able to do with him in that defense, play him with his hand down, play him a little bit deep, even put him into pass coverage, kind of gives them. It's almost a wild card. It's almost a joker. And, you look at Sean Westgate, this kind of, runty little guy who has the heart of a Rudy, but a little bit better size than people think. He's still 5'11", and he's built pretty well. And he's not a Zach Thomas. He doesn't have the neck of a Zach Thomas, but he holds his own. And then Patrick Larimore, you gotta think that they're looking at a future star in him. He has that mentality. I interviewed him the other day with blood trickling down his nose, and he just looks like a beast.
Hey, just do me a favor. Don't tell Westgate you compared him to Rudy on the show. Okay, he's a scholarship player. That's not cool.
He's like a Det and Win.
Yeah, John, you know better than
that. Okay, that works. That win.
Come on, we'll go with that. And anybody. Jeez.
You got Washington State this weekend, followed by trips to Cal and Oregon. Compared to where this team was after their losses to Kansas State and Stanford to where they are now at 2-2, have you figured out where they might fit in the big picture of the Pac-10?
At this point, after watching Cal just get decimated the last couple of weeks, I think they've kind of moved ahead of Cal. And definitely, I have no idea what we're seeing out of Washington. The preseason hype on Jake Locker was so inflated that I really have no appreciation for what this team can do. I would still put them around 6, 7, 8. And that really changes by the day. I think Arizona is better than people thought. Stanford is so much better than people thought. And I think that right there is the best team in the conference. And then obviously Oregon State, I'd still put them around 6, 7, 8. And it depends what happens on that Saturday. If they can have the confidence after this Washington State game, which is supposed to be a win, and take it into Cal, then you could see this team kind of start steamrolling.
And I'll be at that game in Cal, Goldie. I'm calling that game, man. I might meet you at Top Dog. Get us a good hot dog, brother. Maybe 3.
I'm in, man. You count me in.
And while they're cooking our dogs, we can go over to La Burrita and get a burrito too. And after that, we'll swoop on down to Fat Slice. It's Crunchy Groove Thursday. We might as well get it cracking. Okay, so now you attack me for being the Jake Locker hype machine. You call Sean Westgate Rudy. You better make the right pick here. Now, John Gold is not only an emerging great reporter for the LA Daily News, and his blog, InsideSoCal.com/UCLA, is a must-read if you're into UCLA and Pac-10 football. But he is a former center at Thousand Oaks High. He is a big Ventura County football guy. He loves high school ball. He tweets about it all night.
On the Cool Sub?
Yeah, the Cool Sub. His Twitter. We got maybe one of the bigger high school football games that since Pauley and De La Salle, in 2001 or whatever that was. We got a big high school game popping off when Oaks Christian and Westlake, the Warriors, take on each other at Oaks Christian, I believe it is, on Friday night. Goldie, you got to be there, right? What's going to happen?
Oh, yeah.
It's sold out in like 10 minutes, 3,000 people.
I mean, I absolutely hate Westlake. If you don't know that, you should know that. I hate them.
I love
what they've done. What they've done the last 2 years, this season and last season, is remarkable for a public school. I'm pretty sure they have every single one of their starters back. The quarterback is fantastic. Nelson Spruce, receiver, is fantastic. They are doing things that I did not know could be done at a public school, with other teams such as the St. Bonaventure and an Oaks Christian and a Crespi. I mean, there are so many good teams around here. And the fact that Jim Bankert keeps getting these guys to forego those other schools and go to Westlake says something. I think they're going to take them. I think Westlake's the best team in the state.
Yeah, I like Spruce.
Yeah, Spruce is a good. They have so many of these guys who are just prototypical good high school players. I know you've had Dave Anderson on the show a few times. Dave in high school was just an absolutely dominant high school player. You didn't really expect him to excel at the next level and then even make it to the NFL. And so you kind of got that same kind of player at Westlake. Really good, really smart, patient, understanding of the system, and they play hard for Banker. That's a good team.
Guys like that go to places like Boise State and Utah and have a great deal of success.
Exactly.
That's the truth. The great John Gold, InsideSoCal.com/UCLA. Goldie, thanks for bailing us out today, man. Enjoy that game tomorrow night, and we'll see you in the Rose Bowl.
I'm like your closer. I am Broxton, except I think he has 30 pounds on me.
Yeah, that's a good idea, though, right? With a grain elevator?
Brilliant idea.
That's right. That's what I thought.
The cool sub is his Twitter, InsideSoCal.com/UCLA. Big fans of John Gold are we. When we come back, we will give you a tiny little slice, I believe, of the Mike Patterson.
Rudy.
Just go with that and win, man.
Sean Westgate is the Pac-10 Defensive Player of the Week, and that guy just called him Rudy.
I think he meant the heart, you know. On the inside, my man. He's got that Rudy motor going on the inside.
Rudy was filled with spam on the inside. Spam.
Used to punch the clock at that steel mill, my man, and he knew there was a brighter future for him.
Filled with brisket.
When we come back, we mentioned what an awful conversation we had with Mike Patterson. It was on tape, so we opted not to play it and talk to John Gold instead. But we'll give you a little glimpse into... You deleted it?
Good.
That probably for the better. We'll be back with, I don't know, something else. I'm going to read about this Duke chick that slept with all the athletes here in the commercial break.
How dare you?
It's Petros and Money on AM 570 KLAC, Fox Sports LA.
People can't express themselves in college.
Where to go and what to do. Wasted hours that you make new.
Again to John Gold of InsideSoCal.com/UCLA. Welcome back to the Petros and Money Show here on AM 570 KLAC. Fox Sports LA. If you're interested in a young woman's senior thesis at Duke University about having sex with a bunch of athletes, you can hit up the deadspin.com and peruse all 35 pages of it.
All right, you can't just jump past that like it's nothing. I mean, we'll talk high school football matchups in the fake hour tomorrow with some local knowledge. Westlake taking on Oaks Christian. I mean, it's a game of the century. My man, I'm thinking about going. Our boss, Don Martin.
Oh, yeah?
I am thinking about going. Our friend Fred Rogan from across the street who I work with on KNBC's Challenge. No, not on Friday. I work Sunday with Petros on the Challenge. You want to play big boy games and watch Oaks Christian take on Westlake. You better be ready to pay big boy consequences. Like, we'll talk about all that tomorrow as we got the crunchy groove of Alpha Blondie playing us out here as the fake hour mercifully comes to an end. Matt, please, what's going on with this girl?
Deadspin.com, one of our favorite websites when it comes to covering the sports, has a thesis submitted by one Karen F. Owen at Duke University titled An Education Beyond the Classroom, Excelling in the Realm of Horizontal Academics, in which she slept with, I believe, 13 Duke University athletes, lacrosse players, looks like a couple baseball players, a tennis player.
And a track guy in there? Maybe a pole vaulter?
I don't have any track guys.
Triple jump?
I don't think. I mean, they're pretty douchey looking. Like, here's this guy with an airbrush Super Mario shirt.
They go to Duke. What do you want?
Yeah, exactly. And she proceeds to provide every little detail about their encounter, size, performance.
Really?
Kind of things they said to her.
Anybody really get a crack at?
Couple dudes, I have to believe, quite embarrassed and upset, and some other guys sticking their chests out a little bit, walking around campus going, did you read Karen Owen's thesis?
See what she said?
You want to maybe get
what does she look like?
She, you know what? They don't have
I don't go on the Deadspin. I mean, I know
they don't have any photos of her. They just have photos of all the dudes and the
what's
things
up with
that she
that?
wrote about. I don't know. I imagine if we Googled it, if we just Googled Karen F. Owen, Duke University, we might be able to get a photo there. You want to get that rolling?
KarenFON. I'm kind of a peck and search guy here on the Duke University on the old keyboard here. Duke, Karen F. Owen, Duke, F list. Okay.
Yeah, that's what it's being referred to as, the F list.
It's just a bunch of dudes, man. It's still just a bunch of dudes.
Bunch of dudes.
Yeah, that's not her. That lady's like 100 years old. What's wrong with you? Are you talking into a microphone? Because I can't hear you.
Maybe you punched it in wrong because your one finger hits 3 keys on the computer.
I'm not too clear behind the wheel when it comes to typing things in. And it's hard for me to listen to Matt type because he sounds like a temp back there just banging it out all day.
I didn't know what my future held, you know?
You know, typing saved my grandfather's life.
Yeah?
He could type. You know, he's in World War II in the Pacific, and they put him on a boat to be a typist, and the other boat that all his boys went on, straight
Not
blown
good.
up. Yeah.
Yeah.
He could type and saved his life. Too bad I never learned.
Got this one for typing. Got this one for surfing. Got this one for the spelling bee. Oh, yeah. Love typing. But, yeah, if you want to check it out, it looks like 13 subjects. There's a giant Adonis of a baseball player that she said was sadly disproportionately cursed
That's
down
not
low.
cool. I want to
Not
see
cool
the
at all.
girl. I want to see the girl. Gary Patterson, Jason Lockenford, Lance Romance, PMS, 1 minute away from the real show.
Have an elite ring, rapacious gardens of female distinction.